Hi, I'm Katrina and welcome to Just a Face Holistic Healing. Today we're going to talk about inconsistent energy and its connection with gut health and adrenal fatigue. One of the most common complaints that I hear from people is their lack of energy or their inconsistent energy of extreme highs and extreme lows. Also, lack of quality sleep related to those, and inability to get a restful sleep to be able to handle everything that they need to do with adequate energy. So today we're going to focus on the physical aspects of the mind, body, spirit connection. And this includes physical movement, your diet, your lifestyle, and your supplementation. So first we're going to talk about physical movement. And when it comes to inconsistent energy, it's really important to move your body. And you're going to want to focus on moving your core and the corresponding chakras, which are your solar plex chakra, your sacral chakra, and your root chakra. And you're going to want to do this because the energies associated with those are connected to your adrenals. So things that you can do to move your core are things like yoga, qigong, tai chi, dancing, marching, walking stairs, hiking, obviously as your mobility allows, and even just simple stretching when you get up, when you sit down. Just taking a moment to do some stretching, twisting, and turning allows your body to move those energies around and helps move everything else around so that it can function optimally for you. If you're unable to do those types of things, I highly suggest, and even if you are able to do those things, to do breathing exercises. Because as adults, we tend to have very shallow breathing, where we're only breathing from the top of our lungs. Where if you watch an infant, they breathe from their stomach and their diaphragm. So oftentimes people refer to this as stomach breathing or infant breathing. And you're simply going to draw your attention to your stomach and your diaphragm and have your breath come from below instead of from above. This is very important because it requires an adequate amount of oxygen for your body to both digest and for your blood to be able to transport nutrients around your body. So the quality of breath that you're getting is going to play a vital role in how your overall energy is as well. It's also very important lifestyle-wise to try and get to sleep before 10 p.m. For everybody, obviously, is going to be a little bit different depending on your work schedule, and your overall lifestyle. But even if you're unable to get to bed before 10 p.m., avoiding eating or doing any strenuous activity before bed, about 2 hours before bed, is really important because you need to allow your body that time to transition and rest. That way, when you go to bed, all of your energy is not pulled into digesting, where it could be allocated to helping different parts of your body heal. So another important thing is taking frequent breaks. About every 2 hours, you should be taking a 5 or 10 minute break, either walking around, getting up, stretching, or just changing your activity for a few minutes, which will allow your energies to shift and kind of rebalance, and then you can go back to doing what you're doing, and you'll start to know very, very subtle differences in how your energy moves, especially if you're sitting at a desk job all day or something where you're in a single position for an extended period of time. Having that time where you're doing something else allows your body to kind of wake up in a sense, because once you get into a repetitive motion, your body kind of goes on an autopilot, and changing your motions allows your body to come back and have to be aware with what it's doing. So when it comes to dietary, it's very important to eat in moderation. this was one key thing that I was raised on, is moderation. So not eating a lot of something and not eating next to nothing of something. Eating an adequate amount for your body and listening to your body's cues, whether it feels it needs more or less of something. I usually like to suggest that people use the How to Eat for Your Blood Type book as a guideline for starting to see where their ideal diet template should be. So for example, I am an O blood type, but actually when I was younger my mom thought I was B, so I was eating for a B blood type. So I would have a lot of stomach issues and various things, and I couldn't figure it out. Then when I gave birth to my son, I found that I was actually an O blood type, so I changed my diet accordingly. And I found out that things that are suggested for an O blood type are a lot easier for me to digest, with the exception of animal meats and fats. So there's some animal proteins that cause me discomfort, so I limit them accordingly, and same with fats. And that's why I like to suggest the Eat for Your Blood Type, because it gives you a good starting point and you're able to adjust it accordingly to how your body is reacting at that time. And over time you can start to reintroduce or take other things out and play with it that way. It's really important to limit your processed foods, so that's anything that basically you're gonna find in an aisle at a store. People like to say if you're shopping around the store, it's real food, and if you're shopping in the aisles, it's very likely that it's mostly processed foods there. So avoid processed foods and avoid processed sugars, because these things slow the body down, they create that high and low inconsistent energy, and they contribute to things like sugar and carb cravings. So limiting your sugars is also very important. Things like fructose and glucose, which are found in fruit and honey, are good in moderation but should be limited. And things like refined sugars, added sugars, you're going to want to avoid those things because they create those highs, those peak energies, but create fast crashes because it's empty calories and your body burns through it quicker. It's also suggested to limit dairy because dairy creates mucus, which in turn impedes your breathing abilities. So like I said before, if you're not getting quality breathing, your body is not going to be able to transport nutrients and is not going to be able to digest effectively. So another important aspect about natural healing is supplementation. And supplementation often refers to vitamins, minerals, herbs, and other things that you take in addition to your diet to compensate for the lack of whether it's hormones, enzymes, whatever the case may be in your diet and in your natural composition. So some of the things that you can take to help deal with fatigue and poor gut health and adrenals are things like 5-THP, CLA, flaxseed oil, GABA. Another thing that you can take to help rebalance your hormones is melatonin, but you need to be cautious when using melatonin because melatonin tends to alter your serotonin levels, which when it comes to adrenal fatigue and gut health, serotonin is the more crucial player. So if you're unsure of what your serotonin levels are, it's really easy to go online and kind of find a guide to see if what you're feeling is high or low serotonin levels, and then using melatonin accordingly to slightly alter those. Amino acids, glutamine, which helps to curb sugar cravings between meals, but if you're going to be supplementing with glutamine, it's highly suggested that you intake your water content and that you take either soluble fiber or you take an additional fiber into your diet because it tends to create constipation. So just something to keep in mind if you are going to be using certain supplements like glutamine. multi-B vitamin or niacin. Niacin really helped me with the depressive aspect of inconsistent low energy and gut health. Bone broth, collagen, magnesium. There's lots of different forms of magnesium. There's 2 very specific types and I'll list them on the side. Pre and probiotic of a very good quality. Some herbs that are helpful when healing from this, well, these things, is ashwagandha, broadleaf plantain, calendula, chamomile, dandelion, lemon, clover, licorice root, ginger, fennel, mint, turmeric, marshmallow root, cayenne, cumin, rosemary, cardamom, black pepper, kava kava, lemon balm, holy basil, ginseng, and valerian. And there's a number of ways that you can use these. Personally, I am creating what I like to call a burnout tincture. So some of these and some other herbs that I've done research on, I'm creating into a tincture, which is sublingual, and you use that under your tongue, which takes those properties from all the plants and allows them to work where they need to work in order to heal fatigue and the related issues that we're talking about. You can also use some of these to make a tea. Some of them can be used topically. A handful of them, there's an essential oil, so you can use those topically, either with a roller or in a lotion, or you can diffuse them. Whatever your preferential mode of getting those into your body, you're able to do that, which is why I personally love herbs, is they're very versatile. So if you have sensitivities to some of those things, it's pretty easy to find something that has similar active properties in order to help yourself heal very specific areas in regards to fatigue, adrenal fatigue, or gut health. So I hope you've learned some things today to help you on your journey of healing from fatigue. If you need any additional guidance or would like some suggestions or resources, feel free to reach out to me. I'm pretty much available all the time, and I love doing the research part of things. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again.